about 8 years during the 1990s, I was a part of a cult known as Jehovah's Witnesses. I really thought it was the truth. Then one day in 1999, I read something in 1 Corinthians 13 that showed me that they had actually got something wrong, because the witnesses believe that the gifts of the Spirit are no longer operative, and yet 1 Corinthians 13 said that they are. But when they're becoming operative is when perfection comes, which obviously isn't yet. So for the next 6 months during that year, I secretly looked at the release, because if you do it openly you'll get into trouble, and came to the conclusion that it wasn't the truth. So in November 1999 I visited the Kingdom Hall for the very last time. Now, I still believed in God, but I didn't really trust him. In fact, I partly blamed him for the fact that I lost all my friends, and I really was really completely bereft of any thought of being in any kind of religion. I didn't not just trust God, I didn't trust any other religious person either. And about 8 years later, having been on various websites with other ex-witnesses, a friend of mine sent me a tract from Canada, which was a bit of a surprise really, because normally we swap Christmas cards, but that was it. I read the tract and it reawakened an old urge really, an old feeling, and a few weeks later another friend invited me to his church. I'm not really sure who was more surprised when I said I'd go, me or him. I was a bit shocked actually. I didn't really think I'd ever go into church again. But I went in there and I quite enjoyed it, though it wasn't really my style of worship. Then life happened really. My sister became very ill and eventually died. That was in January 2008. A few weeks later I broke my ankle, which I thought was an awful thing at the time, but it actually turned out to be very good, because I had to spend some time in hospital, and I've been thinking about God again, but not very positively. And of course there's Gideon Bible in hospitals, and all it took really was to read one verse in John 14 where Jesus talks about giving his peace, for me to realise that salvation isn't something you can earn, try to do for 8 years in the Watchtower. It's a free gift, something you have to accept. And I asked Jesus into my life that night, and he just turned up. And I guess a different person came out of what was then the DRI and went into it. And after a few months in plaster and on crutches and sticks, eventually started to look for a church. And New Life was the third one I tried, and I knew really when I got here that this was probably going to be home. I was baptised here a few months later I should say, in October, and since then I've got more and more involved in church matters, and nowadays I teach other people, other Christians, how to witness to witnesses, because I'm not able to do that myself in this city. One of the rules of the Watchtower is that you don't just lose your friends, you lose the right to talk to them, they won't speak to you. So it's my prayer that more and more witnesses will come to Jesus, will leave the Watchtower and come to Jesus and find the peace that I've found. Thank you.